A moral panic is a feeling of fear spread among a large number of people that some evil threatens the well-being of society. A dictionary of sociology defines a moral panic as the process of arousing social concern over an issue, typically work of a moral entrepreneur, who usually includes politicians, legislators, or proponents for increased punitiveness with regards to juvenile justice, and the mass media, who create a dangerous misconception that students are unsafe. Moral panics are nothing new. Stanley Cohen, who labeled the sociologic concept as moral panics in 1972, wrote that societies appear to be subject to periods of moral panics, such as Salem Witch Trials, Mods and Rockers, comic books, and crack scare. These scares on society can have long-lasting impacts or easily go away. One fear that has not gone away and continues to have a long-lasting impact is juvenile crime, that has had a long-term effect on schools and school children. Zero tolerance in schools began in the 90s with the passing of the Safe and Drug-Free School Act. The fear of the communities pushed educators to implement one-size-fits-all punishment. The reaction to the fear brought on by school shootings, which kids now see as normal, are additional school officers, metal detectors, more youth counselors, guidebook to look for early warning signs, bullet drills, teachers carrying firearms, limiting library access, include warning labels on violent music, videos, movies, extend gun control laws to juveniles, increasing security measures at the expense of students' rights, drug-sniffing dogs. Believed to be deterrents to school violence, these changes have done no more than make the school feel like a prison, thereby creating the concept of school-to-prison pipeline. This concept is the disproportionate tendency of minors from disadvantaged backgrounds to become incarcerated because of increasingly harsh school policies. It criminalizes instead of educates students. The National Education Association, NEA, has now proclaimed that it's time to shut the pipeline down. After years of promoting for more control, our educators are finally realizing that the one-size-fits-all punishment actually does not fit all. In their article, Schools Are Safer Now, the author quotes Emma Friedel. Shooter drills can be very traumatic, and there is no evidence that they help protect students. These measures just serve to alarm students and make them think it's something that's common. In other words, instead of helping, it actually perpetuating more fear in the students. The self-fulfilling prophecy seems to come true for these students. The school-to-prison pipeline becomes too real for them. Many of these students have history of poverty, abuse, or neglect. Who would better benefit from additional educational and counseling services? Friedel found in her research that in the 2014-15 school year, the student-to-school counselor ratio was 482 to 1, per the American School Counselor Association. According to the ACLU, for most students, the pipeline begins with inadequate resource in public schools. Although the statistics are showing not only that violence is decreasing in our schools, they are also showing that many of the imposed deterrents are no longer as effective. It has now become normal for kids to be drug tested, walk in front of police officers, and be constantly watched by security cameras. Americans can no longer be gripped by unfounded fear. In conclusion, I quote Kim Odell from the Minneapolis St. Paul Saint Tribune. My chances of avoiding evil are good as yours, but these events do affect me. That's okay. I don't want to become insensitive to tragedy. But neither will I let fear rule my life. When I'm afraid, I don't think clearly, and a clear head may be my best defense against letting evil overwhelm me.